Digital Democracy is an organization that I co-founded in 2008 in solidarity with marginalized communities that we are supporting to use technology to defend their rights. So we have 4 key values: the self-determination and autonomy of our partners, accessibility, collaborations, and recognizing that social and environmental justice go hand in hand. We think you can't protect human rights without protecting the environment. The central component is supporting the leadership of Indigenous people, getting them the tools and support they need to document what's happening, to really demonstrate where the threats are, and then to be able to get action and change course around that. Mapeo is a set of digital tools that we have created over the past 10 years in partnership with primarily Indigenous partners in the Amazon. We were supporting some mapping initiatives led by Indigenous peoples who were living in offline remote places and who wanted to be able to create better maps of their territory. Mapeo has evolved to be both a desktop application, a mobile application, and also a decentralized database on the back end that powers both of those tools. Because of the success of the partners in South America, other people around the world have started using it themselves. Mapeo is being used by 20 different areas around the world across 8 different countries. For example, in northern Peru, we're working with Queen Mood, and it's also being used by Eka Amarikari in southern Peru. Mapeo has been seen to be widely adaptable, and I think it's really because we built Mapeo so closely with local partners that it's become relevant for other communities who don't have big resources. Mapeo was designed for people who are physically together to share information, even if there's not Wi-Fi, which of course is a really important feature. When you open up the app, you can easily choose between either taking a photo or taking a GPS point. Together, a team over time is collecting a fair amount of data, and they can share that between themselves. That information can be shared across a network. You can again decide which icons, which categories you want to document. I could bring my phone to the person who's got the laptop and just sync the phone with the laptop. All the data will go onto the laptop, and then that person is able to aggregate all the information and create maps. And those maps can be printed out, can be shared, can be published. And we've seen those maps be used both internally within communities as well as externally in court cases and advocacy cases. I think Mapeo is an innovative solution for the Amazon because it comes from the Amazon. It comes from the communities there saying, this is what we need. We want to be able to document these things. The maps have been used in a wide variety of cases throughout the Amazon to help revoke mining permits, to help support land claim, to restore their legal tenure over their land. One of the most amazing achievements has been the achievement of our Waorani partners, particularly because Mapeo Desktop and the mapping portion of Mapeo was built in such a deep collaboration with the Waorani people. It's been amazing to see how that mapping process helped unite the communities. When a new oil concession was announced by the Ecuadorian government in 2018, they were able to mobilize, build a big network, launch a legal campaign, and then last year the maps were used to halt oil drilling in 500,000 acres of Waorani territory. It was really an honor for Mapeo to have played a role, and the maps were actually used in the court case. That victory has honestly inspired so many people around the world. It's part of why more communities are starting to use Mapeo, as they've seen how the Waorani people were able to use Mapeo in a way that supported their broader goals and their broader autonomy. There are many challenges, of course. Over the past year, the pandemic has been an enormous challenge and has impacted our partners in so many ways. Illegal actors are taking advantage of restrictions to come in and do increased logging, increased mining, and that has not only impacted the environmental area, but has also impacted people's health, because often those are the people who have brought COVID into our local partner communities. In terms of the technology side, building tools that work offline and that are easy to use is not easy at all. There's so much more we want to do to make it even easier. But so we are doing regular virtual consultations with our partners, virtual trainings, virtual workshops. In terms of Mapeo, we have big vision. In the future, we'd like for somebody to be able to do an audio recording so they could actually record testimony, even from somebody who doesn't have literacy skills. And we're also hoping to add tracks when people go out on patrols, that they can turn on the tracking mechanism, just like you might with a GPS, and be able to document along a track. And then we're working to make the integration between the mapping side and the monitoring monitoring side of Mapeo easier to use. We have a lot of protocols around how we work with our local partners, where there's that authentic relationship and deep trust and partnership. Each have their own distinct worldview, but all of which are in deep harmony and deep relationship with the rainforest. One of our close partners, Opie Nankimo, who is the director of the Waorani Mapping Project, said to me, technology won't save our land. We have to save our land. Technology, that it's not the solution, it's just part of the solution, and it needs to be in service of our Indigenous partners. And when we do that, we not only build technology that's more effective, we also strengthen the broader ecosystem that will actually ultimately protect the Amazon for future generations.